Hi, welcome back as usual. Today we'll be talking a little bit about anxiety. What is making you anxious? What is really causing your anxiety, if there's any? We know that when there's not enough information regarding what the future holds, it seems the most natural thing to do is to be anxious, to be worried. And that is even with our best intentions. Even when we don't want to, with our best intentions, humans are wired to have unpleasant feelings when there is uncertainty. You know what is the cause for that? Biology. Humans are made up. Or we are made up, we experience these things naturally. Let's see some of the definitions for worry. Concern, apprehension, anxiety, care, burden, and the online dictionary defines it as feel or cause to feel anxious or troubled about actual or potential problems. But the question that we are going to explore today is, can worry be a good thing? Also, or the other question is that, can any good come out of worrying? My answer, personal answer to that is yes. Know why I say that? Worry can be a good thing. Something good can come out of worrying. We'll talk about it later. But think about this. When we experience worry or anxiety about the future, one of the things it does is give us this opportunity to plan coping strategies. Isn't that a good thing? If when you feel a worry coming, you decide to think about, well, how can I take care of this problem? Isn't that a good thing? Worry is a good thing, in my opinion. Also, what it does is give us this, make us more aware of our surroundings. Like it activates our fight or flight response in case you need to defend yourself or to protect yourself physically. Think about it. If you're in a situation where you're probably alone at the ATM, you start feel that little thing. It's called anxiety, it's called worry, and it triggers something in you that, all right, I need to be more careful because I need to defend myself if somebody should attack me here. So later on, you'll decide what will worry do for you. So uncertainty induces anxiety in every single person. No one is exempt from feeling anxious when they get a news that makes the future seem uncertain. But not everyone will be affected on the same level, right? When the levels are high, the tolerance for coping with uncertainty is usually low. So if your anxiety level is high, coping mechanisms, the tolerance to cope is usually low. And when you are less anxious though, acceptance for the unknown is usually high, as in the scenario I'll give you later. And when people are less anxious, they are better able to manage their reactions in uncertain times. So their thoughts are geared towards, what can I do to make the situation better, rather than, oh my, this is happening, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do, right? I know this for a fact that people who have real issues with anxiety levels or excessive worrying will view a social gathering as overwhelming, because you don't know what will happen and you are thinking that there's a possibility of something stressful to happen. You worry about who will be there, if you can match up to them. You're wondering if you will dress or behave appropriately or accordingly, and you wonder whether or not it will be fun, whether or not you can take away yourself if you feel like this situation is becoming too overwhelming. You don't know if you find an appropriate time to leave, when to leave, and how to leave. What do you say to people if you're leaving? All of those stuff go on in the head of a person who is habitually anxious. However, persons who are generally less worrisome, they do not spend a lot of time thinking about these issues that I just mentioned. If these thoughts even come to them, what they usually do is probably shrug it off mentally and say, who cares? When I get there, I will find out. All of those things that I would worry about, somebody else would say, we are worried about that for when we got to find out. I don't know nothing. Confidence in that person is higher than anxiety. So the person who is not worrisome would be eager to even see what others are wearing without even caring what he or she is wearing, right? There's this thrilling expectation of the many pleasant things that could happen rather than worry about the potential unpleasantness. It's not a given that it's going to happen, but worrisome people worry about things that might be unpleasant when you go to that social gathering. So we can see that it would take just the unknowns of a social gathering to trigger high anxiety in levels for persons who are habitually anxious. But it would take a larger or more high stake uncertainty to trigger, the anxiety alarms for the individual in the latter scenario. Those are persons who don't usually worry about the small stuff. So the things that probably would happen for them to become increasingly anxious is the loss of a job or the death of a loved one. But as we can see, this current crisis is powerful enough to make even persons who don't usually worry become anxious. The anxiety level for generally worrisome people may increase to exceptionally high levels. So what we all may be experiencing at this time, we can consider it as normal. Mark you, I am not saying that one way of reacting to uncertainty is correct and that the other is not. What I am saying is that the reaction from different people is simply that it's different. However, psychologists have found that there are warning signs that indicate that a certain reaction, especially when it becomes a habit, it becomes a norm, that it is not beneficial to the individual. What I mean is that although anxiety is normal, it's our normal way of coping when there is not enough information or there is not enough control over a certain situation. When it becomes very high over things that we are not able to control or to give account for, it becomes harmful and unhelpful. No one on earth can stop things like time, unpleasant news, natural disasters, or pandemics. But it helps when you turn your focus on what can be controlled in these situations. And the only thing that can be controlled in this situation is yourself. Here's 2 things that you can do to make worry work for you. Sort through your thoughts. The first one is to sort through your thoughts to see which ones are unproductive and tune out these. That is, if you decide that nothing good can come from you playing that thought of the worst case scenario in your head over and over, find ways to drown it out. You can use more productive thoughts such as, what are the best methods to protect and care for my family, myself and my family? And similar to accepting that you cannot control certain things, tuning out certain thoughts is not easy to do. I know that it is not easy to do. But recognizing that the thought is unproductive and the worry is unproductive, it is a necessary first step. The second one is to find new routines and habits to develop a sense of control, right? So orders for social distancing and uncertainty about when all this will end has disrupted most persons' normal routine, and no mine has been disrupted. And for a long while it was hard to accept, especially I don't know when I will go back to my normal routine. What you need to do is consciously create new routines, such as exercise when is the entertainment time, because we know we can't do without our entertainment in whatever means, whatever ways we usually entertain ourselves. We know we need some form of entertainment, and we decide when it's time to develop a new skill, and anything else you can think of. What we usually can do is to design a certain time of the day when you will do certain thing, and stick to it. Just do it every day until it becomes a habit. We usually get a sense of control and predictability when habits become automatic. So I'm asking you this question now again, now that I'm at the end of this video. What will worry do for you? What I allowed worry to do for me is to think of opportunities, some that I knew were there before and some new ones. I made worry make me follow through with these opportunities rather than focus on the obstacles that I am presently seeing. So while you think about what worry will do for you, remember to check out the information in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching.